All right, now we're going to prepare the material for our vertical back pieces. These vertical back pieces are going to be 4 pieces that are 14.5 by 3. There's also a horizontal back piece, but we're going to get that out of this scrap piece that we had left over from creating the 17 by 10. For our 4 vertical back pieces that are 3 inches wide, we're going to need to cross cut 2 pieces of bleacher board that is 14.5 inches long. The reason we have to do 2 pieces is we need to have a total width of 12 inches. I can get my tape measure pulled out. And 1 piece is 8 inches wide, minus about a half an inch for our curve. So we got about 7.5 inches that we're working with there. So you're going to need to have a tape measure, some bleacher board, a pencil, and then you'll be going to the miter box saw. So let's see if I can find a pencil that works. And of course, don't forget your eye protection. Let's head to the miter box saw with our materials now. Imagine, if you will, that the dust collector is turned on, but we will not have it on now for instructional purposes. Okay, so we'll get set up here at our miter box saw, and we'll need to mark out a piece that is 14.5 inches long. Now I could show you a trick that would help with this. If we were cutting a bunch, we could set up a stop block up against the fence here. But since we need good practice with measurement and layout, we'll go ahead and have you mark your pieces out. So I'm going to mark out 1 piece at 14.5, and then I'm going to line my mark up with my saw blade. I want to have the mark to the right side of the blade because that's the piece I'm keeping, and the blade's going to take out 1/8 of an inch of material. That's known as a saw curve. So I want to make sure that the blade is on the left side and the mark is on the right side, since I am keeping the right side piece. We want to make sure we're squared up against the fence, and we're going to snug up a clamp to secure the board. Pull the saw all the way out, flip, switch, pull it in. Now we'll need 1 more of those. So we'll repeat the process. Mark at 14.5. Loosen my clamp. Slide my board down. Mark's going to go on the right side of the blade, blade on the left side of the mark because of our saw curve. Snug it up. Out. Flip over. Pull around. All right. Now we got some extra material there for the next student. I am done with my pencil and my tape measure, so I'll want to put those away. And on the ground is not the right place for that. Now I'm going to need 4 pieces that are 3 inches wide. But I also have to get rid of the round edge on my board. So I'm going to start by setting the fence up at 7. And I'll run both pieces through. I just used the saw earlier for ripping, so I know my blade height is good. I'm not going to change that right now. One board at 7. And my second board at 7. Okay. Those two pieces are ready. Now I want to rip those down to 3. Now 3 is going to be narrow stock, so I'll want to use the push stick to keep my fingers safe. So make sure that is handy. And I'll get 2 pieces out of each board. I'm going to shut off the saw, get my boards out of the way. Make sure you wait for the blade to stop before you grab all your scrap out of there. Scrap goes in the scrap bin, which obviously needs to be emptied. Now what we can go ahead and do is glue up our back pieces. You're familiar with gluing, so I won't go through that whole process. But you will need 2 of the bar clamps. So I'll get that part way started for you. Now you do want to decide how you want to line up your grain. Remember, you don't want it to be parallel. So that looks good there. Couple of clamps. And then we just set our boards in there and go through our gluing process like we did before with all 4 pieces. I'll let you finish that part on your own. Good luck.